Los Angeles, a city renowned worldwide for its stunning skyline, iconic landmarks, and vibrant culture, conceals a disturbing and escalating crisis beneath its glittering facade. Known as the entertainment capital of the world, LA is now experiencing an alarming surge in homelessness, transforming Hollywood's city of dreams into a harsh daily reality for countless residents. But what lies behind this shocking transformation? In this exploration, we journey past the glamour and glitz to uncover the deep-rooted factors driving this tragic reality. We'll reveal the heartbreaking human stories hidden behind the cold statistics, and the groundbreaking solutions aiming to restore hope and stability. How did Los Angeles, the heart of opportunity, end up facing such devastating social issues? Join us as we peel back the layers of this urgent crisis, seeking answers that may pave the way for a brighter future. One shocking reality is the alarming rise in homelessness in Los Angeles. Despite its glitz, glamour, and sunny skies, LA is grappling with a crisis more severe than ever. In 2024 alone, homelessness surged by an astonishing 28%, pushing the number of unhoused individuals to an unprecedented 11,141. This marks a 55% jump since 2013 and an alarming 41% increase in just 4 short years. The situation has now reached a tipping point. Homelessness is not just numbers on a report. It's a painfully visible daily reality. According to the 2023 report from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development (HUD), Los Angeles shockingly tops the nation with 59.9% of its homeless population living unsheltered, lacking even basic shelter. This is a massive 27% increase since 2020. But what sparked this dramatic escalation? Is it purely economic hardship, or do deeper, systemic issues contribute to this catastrophe? As we delve deeper into this crisis, we'll uncover the intricate web of causes and solutions that could ultimately lead Los Angeles toward a brighter, more supportive future. Homelessness in Los Angeles County reveals an even darker picture. On any given night in 2023, between 81,190 and 82,685 people were desperately surviving on the streets, in cars, or under dangerous conditions, according to the World Population Review. By 2024, chronic homelessness soared to approximately 29,781 individuals, representing a staggering 24.9% of the city's total homeless population. Compare this to just 8,158 individuals, or 16% in 2018, and the severity becomes painfully clear. How could a city famous for its opportunities face such overwhelming hardship? The truth is complex, driven by a web of economic, social, and systemic factors that we'll explore further. At the core of this crisis is the dramatic increase in the cost of living. Homeownership has become almost impossible, with median home prices soaring to an astounding $912,500, far exceeding the national median of around $375,000. Renting provides little relief, as average costs for a 2-bedroom apartment have skyrocketed to around $2,570 per month, nearly $1,200 above the national average. These impossible costs leave residents forced into desperate choices: housing or basic survival necessities. Furthermore, Los Angeles's sprawling geography and heavy dependence on automobiles worsen the crisis. Traffic congestion and extended commute times lead to staggering transportation expenses, with gas prices typically soaring 30% to 40% higher than the national average. Owning a car isn't just convenient. It's a costly necessity that drains resources from already stretched budgets. Public transportation, although present, simply isn't extensive or practical enough for many residents, trapping countless individuals in an impossible cycle of rising costs and shrinking resources. But as we unravel these troubling factors, can Los Angeles find a pathway back to stability and hope? Beneath the glamour of Los Angeles lies a heartbreaking secret: The tragic reality of child homelessness. Every year, almost 21,000 children in Los Angeles face life without a stable home, according to the city's Office of Homeless Youth. This shocking number paints a devastating picture, raising painful questions about the future these kids will face. Homelessness doesn't just disrupt a child's life, it scars their future. These children suffer constant uncertainty, inadequate nutrition, and disrupted education, drastically affecting their health and emotional growth. Imagine being a child and not knowing where you'll sleep or eat tomorrow. This instability leads to lower educational success, serious health issues, and tragically, a higher chance of homelessness as adults. But the bigger question remains: how can Los Angeles protect these vulnerable kids and break this vicious cycle before it's too late? The glamour of Los Angeles fades quickly when confronted by its troubling crime statistics. In fact, Neighborhood Scout reports that over 96% of California communities have lower crime rates than LA. The numbers from 2023 alone are startling, a 10% rise from the previous year, totaling over 92,300 reported incidents. That's 24 crimes for every 1,000 residents, placing Los Angeles among America's most dangerous cities. Violent crime has surged to a terrifying 15-year high, reaching around 9,758 incidents per 100,000 residents. Property crimes have also skyrocketed to 1,439 incidents per 100,000 residents. These staggering numbers create an atmosphere of constant fear, significantly impacting everyday life and undermining community safety. How did a city famous for entertainment and luxury spiral into such alarming violence? And more importantly, can Los Angeles ever reclaim its sense of security? Los Angeles isn't just famous for Hollywood. It's also notorious as America's gang capital. An astonishing 950 active gangs operate here, with over 105,000 members dominating the streets. This isn't just a number. It's a devastating reality, shaping everyday life in countless neighborhoods. Gang violence leaves deep scars beyond immediate victims. Entire communities live under constant threat and intimidation, afraid to report crimes or even step outside their homes. This crippling fear creates a dangerous culture of silence, allowing gangs to thrive without consequence. The damage doesn't stop there. Businesses avoid gang-dominated areas, causing economic stagnation, plummeting property values, and limited access to quality healthcare and education. Tragically, this ensures poverty and violence persist for generations. How can Los Angeles possibly overcome this entrenched cycle and restore hope to these troubled neighborhoods? Making LA's housing crisis even more complex is its significant refugee and undocumented immigrant population. By 2023, an estimated 819,397 undocumented immigrants resided in Los Angeles County, a shocking increase from just 16,000 in 1990 and 210,000 by 2005, according to Pew Research Center. These asylum seekers often remain trapped in legal limbo, barred from stable employment and essential benefits. Imagine living in constant fear, unable to secure housing or provide for your family, because you're legally invisible. This pushes many refugees into homelessness, creating another layer to an already devastating housing emergency. The influx of vulnerable individuals further strains resources and intensifies the housing shortage. Without targeted interventions, how can Los Angeles possibly manage this overwhelming humanitarian challenge while still providing adequate support for its existing residents? A new wave deepens the crisis. The steady flow of refugees and undocumented immigrants piles fresh weight onto Los Angeles's homelessness emergency. These newcomers battle huge obstacles: strict legal rules, language hurdles, and scarce resources, locking them out of stable housing. Many cannot work lawfully, so their incomes vanish, making rent impossible. Social isolation makes matters worse, cutting them off from local networks and support programs. Only a broad plan that offers legal help, low-cost homes, and community bridge projects can stop this part of the crisis from exploding even further. Community health on the line. Rising rents, swelling tent cities, and daily money pressures squeeze neighborhood well-being like never before. Every Angelino now feels the ripples, whether through crowded sidewalks, lost sleep, or a growing sense of unease. Safe streets and caring blocks are vital for easing the harm of homelessness and giving everyone a fair shot at a calm life. The big question is clear. How can neighbors unite to lift struggling families while still protecting their own safety? Jobs and stability, the twin shields. Long-term security starts with solid paychecks, fair wages, and reachable services. When residents earn enough to cover rent and food, they stay housed. Simple as that. Bold investments in job growth and social programs can break the roots of homelessness, creating a tougher, brighter city for all. Housing costs skyrocket. Dreams of owning a home fade fast when the median price hits around $912,000, more than double the national mark. Renters get slammed too. A typical two-bedroom runs about $2,570 each month, almost $1,200 higher than the U.S. average. No wonder so many families teeter on the edge of eviction. Transportation takes a bigger bite. Traffic jams stretch commutes, burn extra fuel, and push gas prices 30 to 40% above national norms. Because the city sprawls wide, owning a car feels like a must, piling insurance, repairs, and parking fees on already strained budgets. Public transit exists, yet its reach and timing rarely match daily needs, leaving riders stuck. Everyday essentials keep climbing. Grocery trips cost roughly 17.7% more than the national average. A quick lunch lands near $22, and dinner for two hovers around $111. Healthcare adds roughly 7% over typical U.S. costs, while monthly utilities slam singles for about $132 and families for almost $195. High state income taxes and one of the steepest sales taxes in the nation push even ordinary shopping higher. Tough choices at the checkout. Sky-high expenses force families to slash basic comforts or flee town entirely. Many tenants pay well above 30% of their income on rent, a level experts call unaffordable. Each month becomes a white-knuckle race to keep a roof overhead, and for thousands, that race ends on the street. Why it matters? When housing eats every spare dollar, local shops suffer, children switch schools mid-year, and stress unleashes mental health crises citywide. Breaking this chain starts with policy that cools housing prices, tames transport fees, and boosts real wages. Without swift action, the city famous for dreams risks becoming a place only the wealthy can survive. What comes next? Los Angeles stands at crossroads. Will leaders craft bold, people-first answers that protect both longtime residents and new arrivals? Or will costs climb higher, pushing more families out of sight and into tents? The decisions made now will echo through every neighborhood for years to come. Los Angeles, the glittering poster child for ambition, suddenly finds itself under a dark cloud of poverty. Around 1 in 6 residents, about 16.6%, now live below the poverty line, a rate higher than the statewide average. This widening hardship shocks a city marketed as a launchpad for success, forcing many to wonder how the land of opportunity slid into such deep trouble. Why is poverty booming? Sky-high inequality. The income gap keeps stretching like a rubber band, ready to snap. While luxury penthouses rise, wages for service workers barely budge, leaving families scrambling to bridge an impossible divide. Stagnant paychecks versus soaring costs. Rent, groceries, and medical bills jump month after month, yet earnings crawl along at yesterday's pace. Every extra dollar the city demands pushes households closer to crisis. But what happens when bills outrun paychecks? Entire neighborhoods sink into instability, threatening both morale and the economy. Fallout you can't ignore. Tents in every district. Homelessness explodes as working parents can't stretch funds far enough to cover rent. Strained shelters, and swelling tent cities are just the most visible scars. Health troubles multiply. Those trapped in poverty often skip doctor visits, buy cheaper, less nutritious food, and live in damp, unsafe buildings, sparking chronic illnesses that lock them deeper into hardship. Community tension. High poverty zones frequently witness more conflict and mistrust, making daily life stressful for everyone nearby. The pressing question: can Los Angeles untangle this web before poverty becomes its permanent trademark? Water scarcity, another crisis bubbling beneath the surface. While wallets run dry, so do city reservoirs. Los Angeles sits in a semi-arid zone, relying on faraway rivers and snowpacks to fill its taps. Each new drought turns that dependence into a nerve-wracking gamble, and climate change keeps upping the stakes. Forces draining the supply. Population surge. Nearly 10 million Angelenos need hydration, hygiene, and industry, slurping more gallons every year. Urban sprawl. Expanding lawns, factories, and apartment towers guzzle water faster than aging pipes can deliver, stretching a creaky system past its limit. Cracks in the infrastructure, literally. Burst mains and leaky lines waste thousands of gallons daily, shutting streets and businesses while crews scramble for repairs. Every break reminds residents that the network beneath their feet is overdue for a major overhaul. What if the wells run dry? Imagine entire neighborhoods facing ration showers, parched parks, and skyrocketing utility bills. Agriculture outside the city walls would suffer too, shrinking fresh food supplies and inflating prices across the county. Could the water crisis become the final straw for families already buckling under high costs? A dual emergency demanding bold action. Los Angeles now juggles two ticking time bombs: rising poverty and shrinking water. Both stem from deep-rooted structural problems, and both threaten the city's long-term stability. Without urgent, people-focused solutions, fair wages, affordable housing, aggressive water recycling, and leak-proof infrastructure, the city risks trading its famous glimmer for a future defined by scarcity and struggle. Will leaders ignite sweeping reforms, or will these twin crises keep tightening their grip? The next moves will shape whether Los Angeles shines brighter or fades beneath its own weight. Imagine a city known for bright lights facing dark days ahead. Los Angeles may seem full of promise, but it faces big tests that could change its future. But what comes next is even more worrying. As one of the largest cities in the United States, it must tackle many problems that affect its people and its land. The first test is heat and drought hitting the region with rising temperatures and dry spells. Los Angeles sees more hot days and longer dry seasons that harm health roads and parks. The city relies on water sent from far away, which may not arrive when springs stay dry for years. Efforts to save water and make energy from sun and wind are in motion, but these moves may not be enough to meet the huge need. The next stage could bring worse struggles if rains stay away. Economic gaps add to the trouble. Wealth in some areas shines bright, but many live with too little. Housing prices climb high, making it hard for many to find a safe place to live. When pay stays low, the cost of rent and bills can push families to the edge. But what follows could be even more serious. Homelessness may rise, and services may strain under more demand. We need clear plans to help people earn more and find homes without cost that feels like a trap. Health is another area in crisis. Air can be dirty and cause breathing issues like asthma and heart troubles. Some neighborhoods lack easy access to doctors or clinics, which makes care hard to get. The gap in health hits some groups harder, especially if they live far from good hospitals. To stop this, we must make care easy to reach and work to clean the air, so more people can live free of harm. But what if action does not come fast enough? The cost will be very high. Fair treatment matters too. Los Angeles has a mix of cultures and backgrounds, but not all have the same chances. Bias and unfair rules may block jobs, homes, or schooling for some people. This can lead to tension and divide the community. If these gaps stay, we risk more conflict and harm to the chance for everyone to succeed. We must work to change old rules and open new paths so all can join in shaping the future. But if we ignore this, the promise of unity remains out of reach. The roads and buildings also face tests. Aging systems can break under stress from more people and shifting weather. Repairs and upgrades take money and time, but are needed to keep the city safe and moving. If stops or power cuts become more common, daily life will feel tougher. Planning now can help, but what if steps lag behind the need? The cost will grow fast. We must act before small cracks turn into big breaks. A call to action seems clear. Los Angeles stands at a turning point. Choices made now shape the years ahead. How can each of us help? We can back projects that fight heat or waste and that ease housing stress. We can support efforts to clean air and bring care near every home. We can push for fair rules so all voices count. If we join efforts, we can guide the city toward a healthier path. The road is hard, but hope remains if we start today.